Show them how you get up in your bag. Show them that swag. What you see is what you get. When I look in the mirror, I'm looking like a man. Like we playing tag bad, I'm the top pick. Show them what you're working with. Break the circuit, be a hit. Go ahead and make them sit. If you gotta hate it, then your purpose is equipped. Tell them catch you later, cause you serving up some grits. Meaning hot with the drip when I drop in the mix. The proof is in the pudding. Show them how you do it. They do it like they shouldn't. You don't need to brag, cause your competition couldn't. You don't need to boast, cause the proof is in the pudding. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them what you got. Show them how you get up in your bag. Show them that swag.
Hello, everyone. My name is Austin. I am Studio Activation and Growth Manager here at PhotoDay. The Activation and Growth team, we are dedicated to new studios for the first 12 months, just getting them set up for success. We also have Emily with us today. Emily, do you want to introduce yourself?
For sure. Hey guys, my name's Emily. I am an account executive here at PhotoDay, so I'm over on the sales side. So if you are here and you're thinking about getting started with PhotoDay, or if you just want to chat and see what your workflow would look like in our system, I'm your girl. But today's webinar is going to be all about PhotoDay's public and group galleries. So just a quick agenda for today. We're going to talk about what are group and public galleries and how to set them up. Austin is going to blow your minds with a live demo, so get pumped for that. We're going to talk about tips, tricks, and best practices, including some tips on some of our newest features, which is super exciting. So if you're a PhotoDay veteran here, you'll still get hopefully some good juice out of this webinar today. And then we'll end it with a Q&A, but if you guys have questions as you go, please feel free to pop them in the chat. We'll help answer as we go. We also have a team, our PhotoDay team, shout out to the squad, that's going to help answer things as we go. And if we don't get to it, we'll definitely discuss in the end.
Awesome. So why do these gallery types matter? So public and group galleries, I guess when it comes to photographing large groups, photographers need a flexible way to organize and deliver their photos. And one problem that we see a lot of times is missing data. So a school or league, if they're unorganized or if they refuse to give you a roster with the student names or parent emails, public and group galleries, that's going to be a perfect solution for you then, because you don't need to assign specific photos to specific subjects. You completely bypass that part. And then also, since you don't need the subject data, you really don't need to check anyone in. So it kind of removes a workflow step for you. So you could kind of slim down your staff a little bit. And also with hundreds or even thousands of students, sometimes managing galleries or managing paper forms, that can get a little tedious to sort through. So group and public galleries, that just gives you the path of least resistance by generating just one access code or one link for everybody. And we'll show you that.
Amazing. So now we're going to walk through a little bit about the experience of setting these up and what your customers will experience it before actually seeing it live with Austin. So it all really starts in just thinking about how your customers will actually access the gallery. With a group gallery, they'll need an access code to access the photos. So picture it like a password. You can actually customize it to be the name of the league and year, whatever you'd like. With a public gallery, they actually only need the link to access the gallery. So just two things to consider when deciding between the two. And then when we start to think about actually uploading and tagging your images. So this is an area where PhotoDay really shines. You do not need to know your subjects in group and public galleries. Really think about that. You do not need to know who you're shooting. You don't need to know the order that you're shooting in. If someone, if a little kid is crying and you want to send them back to the line, don't stress. That's okay. Back in the line. Really think about what that can do for you. We want you to have an engaging experience, create an engaging experience the day of the shoot. We don't want you to have to worry about manual tasks, tracking your subjects in high volume environments. So because everything is based on facial recognition technology with PhotoDay, it really enables you to focus on the shoot, focus on photography. Maybe that means you add in some extra buddy shots. Maybe that means you add in an extra pose or two, start increasing your inventory. Or maybe that means you just get to be yourself on picture day and not stress, and you make the kids laugh and have fun and the pictures come out better. So that's really the name of the game when it comes to the actual shoots during group and public galleries. So when you're uploading, you only have to upload your images because FaceFind is going to do the rest. And tagging photos really just acts like folders. So if you do want to give parents kind of that supplemental search method to FaceFind, tags is a really easy way to do so. Maybe you're tagging things by action shots or by team names. So the sky is really the limit, but these are going to be your two main search methods for your parents in these two gallery types.
And I'll show you guys here in a second, but there's a couple different ways that you can tag. So if you're using Lightroom keywords and you're typing in the team name, those will pull in as tags. If you have a folder structure, so say you have a big folder and then within that folder, you have a folder with team A, team B, team C. If you just upload that big folder, it's going to tag them by the subfolders. So mom can just click on team A and view those photos. And then you can also just drag and drop them into PhotoDay. And I'll show you that.
Perfect. And now the customer experience. This is another huge win for PhotoDay. When you think about the customer experience, what comes to mind? It's really an emotional buy for parents. They're literally buying images of their kids. So there's a couple things that we want to happen. One, we want it to be a really easy process for them. So it's going to look exactly like any modern online shopping experience that you currently have. And if you're like me and you have a chronic online shopping addiction, then it's super easy. But also the other thing we want to create is to tie that emotional connection as soon as possible. We want them to enter in a gallery and see the images of their kids as soon as possible, create that connection, drive that buyer conversion. So because of that, when a customer enters in a group or a public gallery, they'll first be prompted with FaceFind. So it'll tell them, upload a picture of your child. It's going to immediately sort the images and show them all pictures of their kids. Now, guys, this technology is insanely accurate. Any PhotoDay veterans can attest to that, but I've literally seen it work with graduation shots of hundreds of kids and still find the faces. So if the parent can tell who the kid is in the image, the technology definitely can too. And then also with the customer experience, let's say you have that one parent that maybe doesn't want to upload a picture of their kid to then see more pictures of their kids. Parents will be parents. That's where tagging comes in as well. So they can then search by tags, whether it's a specific team their kid was on, maybe it was a certain dance session, or maybe it was a certain outfit. Up to you how you'd want to sort those tags. And then the third and final search method in this customer experience for your parents is all photos. So that's if you enable it, it literally just gives them the ability to scroll through the entire gallery. Those search methods are customizable. You can pick and choose what makes the most sense for your gallery. But ultimately, creating a really easy, seamless, and quick customer experience is why we have such high buyer conversion.
And with the all photos, just so you know, if you're scrolling through and they do find their kid, they can click on it and click find similar, and it'll return all the photos of that person too.
Yes, which is amazing. And now Austin's going to kick it off with his super awesome demo.
Yeah. So just a couple things. So we're going to run through the dashboard. We'll set up the gallery access. We'll probably pick a group public gallery. We will review and confirm the access code. We'll set an expiration date and our marketing. And then we will show you the customer side. So let's get into it. And give me just a second because I have not screen shared before on this.
Got this.
Here we go. Can you see it?
No. Stand by.
Bring it back here. Share screen.
See people talking about how it even can tell identical twins apart, which is super incredible. Definitely can tell them apart better than I can.
All right. Now can you see?
Yes, there we go.
Hey. Got it. All right. So when you log into PhotoDay, this is what it looks like. To start a job, you could just hit create job here. We just came out with that little button. Or if you click on jobs, we can click add new here. Does the same thing, but we'll add the job name. So we'll just say Westlake Yellow Jackets. And then I like putting the season and the year just to keep myself organized. So I'll say spring 26. We'll pick youth sports. Organization, you're not going to see them until you add them here. So we'll just take the league name, add it here, and you'll be able to add contact information and stuff later on if you need. That way you can send them the marketing flyers. And then for picture day date, you'll set that. Estimated being photographed, that'll just pull some reporting on the back end. So it'll say like 20% opted in or 50% purchased. And then this logo, this is not your logo. This is going to be the job or the team logo. With some of the labs, if you toggle this on, it'll appear on their memory mate. So it kind of just customizes it for you, which is pretty cool. We'll hit create job. And then basically you just walk through the steps. First thing is setting up gallery access. There's 3 different types. Private gallery, just so you know, you need a little bit of data to set it up beforehand. So at least their first name, last name, preferably a parent email, that way you can send them their access code. But this is an individual gallery for each person. Public and group, this is where all the photos are in one gallery, and then the parents will use FaceFind to search for their photos. But let's do a public one. We can customize this link if we want. I kind of like it. I might take off the SP, but we'll do Westlake Yellow Jackets. We can set the access or the opt-in code if we want. So we'll say Yellow Jackets.
And if you guys don't know, Austin is the king of marketing. So any of these tips that you're learning, you're lucky to know.
Appreciate that. You can set an expiration date. I suggest that you do. If you do set one, we usually suggest doing it for at least 35 days out, just so we have automated marketing that goes out the first day, the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 14th, and 30th. So we want them to get all of those. But if you set an expiration date, it's going to send a last chance reminder, and all your procrastinating parents, that's where they're going to order. So I definitely suggest you doing this. But you don't have, like, once it's expired, you don't have to leave it expired. You could always republish the gallery. There's no like storage fees or anything like that. So you can have as many galleries as you want. And then we just came out with QR codes, which love this. You can add the Photo Day logo, the job logo, the studio logo. But there's 2 different types of QR codes, and you can put this on any of your marketing. The URL, that's going to go straight into the job. It'll have them put in their first name, last name, and hit subscribe. The SMS QR code, this one I really like because all they have to do is, I like simple. So all they have to do is text Yellow Jackets 26 to 90738. That's going to automatically lock them into the gallery. It's going to automatically subscribe them. And then once photos are ready, it'll send them a message telling them that photos are ready. They'll click on the link, and then they'll sign in and order. But I really like the SMS QR codes because it automatically subscribes them.
Makes it as easy as possible.
Yep. And then, like Emily was talking about, FaceFind, that's where you upload a picture, take a selfie. Tags, that's if you have like separate folders or Lightroom keywords. And then all photos is just scrolling through all of them. And you can always, so like if you wanted them to just use FaceFind, so they can't see tags, they can't see all photos, you can choose that. So we'll hit save. Oh. We'll say YJ, Yellow Jackets. And then we'll set up the storefront. We have a whole webinar on Advanced Pay, so I'm not going to get too into detail with it, but Advanced Pay is kind of our answer to prepay. We didn't think it made sense to sell packages beforehand just because we didn't want to like lock them into the basic package, them see their photos, and then want something bigger or better. So these are just credits, and they can use that whole credit amount towards their order, no matter if it's prints or digital. You can do up to 4 and add a description to them if you want. A lot of times I'll see 4 if you're doing like dance or like seniors where you have like different outfit changes. Some people will do like 1 to 3 costumes, 4 to 6 costumes, 7 to 10. That way they're not doing like 10 different costume changes for them to buy just like one 8x10 and just kind of get some skin in the game. But another really easy way is just doing like $35 credit or $40 credit, just one single credit. You don't have to use all 4. So a lot of people, they'll do like buy 35 and then you can attach an offer to it. So you always want to incentivize them for ordering early. So we could offer a free shipping on there.
And Emily actually posted some additional resources in the chat for you guys if you're curious to learn more about advance pay. But if you're willing to give it a shot, it's a really powerful tool to help raise your average order value. So definitely check out those resources.
For sure. You can toggle on customer data if you want them to add the kids' like name in there. You can toggle on your storefront once you add a price sheet, so that way they can see what you're selling. Let's go over and look at the price sheet really quick. So we'll use Reedy. So once you attach a price sheet, and you can use a price sheet across multiple jobs. So when you're naming them, I wouldn't say like baseball all-star or something. Like keep it pretty generic so that way you can use it across multiple sports. But we'll just say baseball. And then I always pick universal too, just because there's some cool stuff in there. And what these product themes are going to do, this is any of like the borders or memory mates or buttons that have like borders around them. This is just going to customize those so your customers don't have to click through 100 different fields that don't matter to them.
Because again, we want to create that quick and easy buyer experience.
I feel you.
No decision paralysis here.
All right, so after you set up gallery access in your storefront, we could go ahead and switch this over to advance pay. And then actually, let me show you a couple of things before I show you the marketing flyer. So image protection, we just came out with that. I would definitely turn that on. So couple of things we came out with. The first thing is screenshot block. So if they're on a desktop, it's going to blur the background like this. If that doesn't deter them, we have info overlay. So if you've seen those Facebook watermark remover groups, it kind of deters them from posting in here because it has the customer's name, phone number, email, and unless they want spammed, I don't think that's a good idea to post in there. And then also, we're coming out with screen block. So the feature, it is available for iOS right now. So if they go to screenshot, it's going to black it out completely. And we are currently working on Android devices. So stay tuned.
Any current clients, drop in the chat if you guys have used any of our new image protection features. They're pretty nice.
I love it.
They're awesome. The info overlay is definitely a fan favorite.
One other quick thing. So I like to incentivize my advance pay people with the best offer, but I still want to push the people that didn't do advance pay to maybe do like a higher sale. So I'll go into gallery promotion and go down here, add a gallery promotion. So this is going to be a banner that's on your gallery for everybody to see. And I'm not going to give them free shipping on 35 because that's what the advance pay ones got. But maybe if they get up to 75, I'll give them free shipping. We'll hit save. And then we can go into marketing, manual flyers, and create a flyer. We'll use the advance pay template.
Yeah, while he's creating this, shout out Elizabeth. She just said something great. It's info overlay is a great way to tell parents. It's also for their security, right? They know, we know who's looking at pictures of your children. It's only you. Like they can be sure of that.
Yeah. You can always change the design in here. There's a couple different options. I like this modern horizontal, and then you can also add a photo in here if you want, a little banner. So a lot of times we'll see people add a QR code in there because yes, it's a marketing flyer to email, but you can also download it and print it off if you want. And then you can send it to the organization. If you have everybody's email, you can send it there too, but they can scan the code, they can text the code, they can click the link. They got options. And then once they go in on the customer side, it's going to look like this. So it's just going to say prepay with advance pay, get free shipping on orders of 35 or more, and it'll have them order.
Auto applied at checkout, which is a huge win for you guys. No headaches of customers coming to you saying, oh, I forgot to apply my code. Nope, auto applied.
And then can you see? Yeah.
Yes. Your files.
So this is what I was talking about, big folder, little folder, subfolders. So if you have a folder and then within that folder, that's where your subfolders are. So you had team A, team B, or 1, 2, 3. If you just drag and drop the big folder, it's going to tag them by the subfolder. So then mom can just click on team 2 and view all of those photos. The other thing we found sometimes with team photos, if one person downloads it, they all might have it. So you can always highlight those team photos and then go up here and click disable digital downloads and make it a print only item if you want.
Smart.
Yep. Just so they're not like sharing it in their Facebook groups and stuff. And then really that's after you get done uploading, you're basically done. It's that easy. You'll switch over here from advance pay to publish. If it's after 8 p.m., it's not going to go out until 9 a.m. the next day, just so you don't make people mad.
For all you night owls out there who finish post-processing at 2 a.m.
Literally every photographer ever. They'll get a link to the gallery. As soon as you hit publish, they'll get a text message and then they'll land on this screen. So they can upload a picture. They can search through the keywords, and this is searchable. So they could just start typing like team whatever, or they could do like Thunderbirds or whatever their team name is. And then if they are scrolling through all photos, say they find their kid, we can click find similar. It'll pull up FaceFind, and then it returns all the photos of that person.
Boom.
They can go through, they can favorite one, they can favorite all. We found it's like 76% of orders or something high up there. They're done on a mobile device. So we're like, oh, cool, let's make an app. We made the app and nobody really downloaded it. So we made the website super mobile friendly. So it looks and feels like an app if they're on their phone. It's super easy to use. I used to have it where I could show you on the phone, but I guess that changed. Sorry.
Looks great though from phone or computer. That's the whole point. Super easy.
Yeah. And then we'll hit shop my favorites. Download all. I did want to touch on this really fast. So this is great because one, it shows every like 20th photo in the gallery. So for those parents that have decision paralysis, they just say, oh my God, my kid's so cute. We can click buy all. They'll click on their kid's face. Oh, I still have something in my cart. Sorry. They will click on their kid's face, and then it instantly just goes to the cart. And then one other thing, so like if they're doing memory mates, we'll just do this one. See that job logo?
Pretty sweet.
So we can add the individual picture. Maybe their kid is blinking in this one, but not in this one. So they can choose the better one for their kid. And then we'll just say, and that part I love, that the parents put in all the text because there's no misspelled name. Well, if there are misspelled names, it's on them.
No more messy handwriting on an order form that you're trying to uncode.
So they'll preview it, they'll hit confirm, and view cart. And then that's where retouching pops up. So retouching, it's just basic blemish removal. We do all the editing on the back end, so it'll keep scars, it'll keep moles. It really just focuses on acne. It doesn't look like a soft filter was just thrown on their face. It looks pretty natural. But you'll set the retail price. They can add it to all of their photos, including the team photos, or they can do like just their individuals or just a couple photos. And then when they're ready, they'll just hit checkout. And as people are ordering, you can go back into your job and see like who's opted in, who's ordered, when they were last reminded, all that fun stuff.
Track those insights.
For sure. And then we also have a bunch of different resources. So if you need like flyers or banners, aside from the pre-built ones in the job, definitely check these out. These are nice too for, well, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but like an organization page, like this would be perfect for that. But yeah, that is a group gallery.
Crushed it.
Let me go to this next slide.
Amazing. Awesome. So now, thank you for that, Austin. That was sweet. Hope you guys got some good tips out of that. But just to highlight some of the tips and best practices that Austin really just showed you on the next slide here.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Awesome. So guys, the name of the game for Photo Day is getting opt-ins. We have so many marketing materials for you to utilize. And I know you guys are all creatives. If you want to utilize and create your own, please do as well. But things like our new QR codes to use to get people to opt in. So with their SMS QR codes or the job URL QR codes, these are such powerful tools. Throw them in a manual flyer, put them on social media, throw them in, give it to a soccer mom for her to throw in her league group chat. Utilize, the people in your network as well. But we just want to hit parents from multiple angles, make it as easy as possible for them to opt into our automated marketing. And then they'll also be notified automatically when the gallery is live and how to access it. So the name of the game is opt-ins. The second thing here, job-specific and global offers. So job-specific offers is actually another new feature, which is super exciting. So global offers, pretty straightforward. They are offers that you'll apply that can be used in any of your galleries and any of your active jobs. Job-specific can only be used on that job. Using offers is a really powerful tool. Like just think about when you online shop and you see something has a sale, it's way more enticing to buy and to spend more. So because you think, you're getting a bargain. So we really stress put your best offer with advance pay because they bought early and you're honoring that. But use job specific and global offers. This is not decreasing the value of your photography. It's really just incentivizing, playing on consumer psychology to get people to spend more. Expiring the gallery. Austin already did a great job touching upon this, but expiring the gallery itself does trigger additional marketing. So it triggers those email and text reminders that are really powerful to, again, get any of those slackers or people who forgot to then go back to the gallery and purchase. What's really popular for studios to do, which is a totally awesome tip, is to actually expire the gallery. Maybe it's 60 days out, 90 days out, the end of the year, whenever you want your sale period to essentially be over. Expire the gallery, let those reminders go out, and then actually go back and unexpire the gallery. So republish it, but flip the price sheet to maybe more expensive pricing. You can call it expired pricing or whatever it is. So that way it's hey, you can still purchase pictures. It's after the date that I said, so it's going to be more expensive. So that's kind of a nice trick with that. And then setting up organization pages. Organization pages are one of the most underutilized tools in the Photo Day ecosystem. So an org page is really just going to work as a way to organize your different jobs from a parent's perspective. So let's say you shoot multiple jobs for a specific league, or as you retain your customers, you retain your clients, the org, any job that you shoot over the course of however many years in your career can all land on this organization page. Why that's powerful for you is because Photo Day helps extend your season. Parents can go in and say, oh my God, he shot my son 3 years ago and now he's entering high school, and I want to go buy some images, or maybe he's graduating and I want to go see the images you shot of him in elementary school. So that's really not uncommon for that to happen. So organization pages are a great way to have that landing page for parents to see all of the jobs you've ever shot that their child is in.
And what I've seen studios do is they'll make a poster that says like a year in review, and they'll put that QR code on it, and they'll put it at like the main office or like around the school in high traffic areas. And it's really good at either, like Emily said, capturing forgotten sales or even second sales. And then also just like cross-selling in multiple seasons. So maybe mom ordered or forgot to order her wrestling photos, go in to order her cross-country photos, and she's like, oh, there's my wrestling photos, I need to order those. So now you're getting additional money from a single scan. So that's pretty cool. And then that link, that organization page link, that never changes. So once you make them a poster, they could keep that up year round, year over year.
Pretty sweet.
Let's go into some questions. It looks like for the most part,
we were so informative that we're now all product experts.
Everything is new for me. I'll be starting with a preschool group. From what I understand, only one gallery is created. All the parents can see the photos of the children. Do you also offer private galleries? Yeah, we do private galleries too. With private, just you need a little bit of data to set it up beforehand. So first name, last name, preferably parent email.
And there will be a different webinar on that. This one was for group and public, but yeah, private is an amazing option for preschools. Yep. Guys, this is public and group galleries are why we are the best in the industry for youth sports photography. Like not needing to know anything about your subjects and having FaceFind do the work for you is so powerful in terms of not just saving you time and energy, but creating a better experience for parents, drawing buyer conversion because they see pictures of their kids faster. Also because you can focus on the kids. They have better facial expressions, drawing higher conversions. So there's so many reasons why we're so awesome for group and public galleries. And hopefully you guys got some good tidbits out of today.
Well, some more reasons why we're awesome. For those of you not currently using Photo Day and you're wondering how much this is going to cost you, we believe in a true partnership, which means we only get paid if you make a sale. So there's no upfront cost. There's no monthly subscription fees. There's no minimum order requirements. Best of all, there's no surprising lab fees at the end of the month. You get all the automated SMS and email marketing. You get the Capture app, the FaceFind technology, the dashboard app so you can track your sales, unlimited storage and digital downloads. Plus, you get us. You have a whole support team. We have a level. If you sign into Photo Day, there's a little orange chat bot at the very bottom right corner. If you click on that, we are a live team here to help whenever you need, but 9 to 5. And then we also have a Facebook group too. So if we're not here, check out the Facebook users group. There's a bunch of good information, a ton of photographers always posting tips and tricks and things in there.
We actually had another question come in. Would love to be able to use the Capture app for group and public galleries. So you can.
That just came out.
Yeah, so that's actually one of our newer features. If for some reason you guys do want the subject data for anything that you'd put in a group or public gallery and you still want the workflow or group or public, you can use subject data with these gallery types now. So it's really great if you do like composited work or for any reason you need to keep track of who's who. You can use our Capture app with group and public galleries. You'll just import the CSV the same as you did for private.
It's really nice for public for composites because you need to have all of their data. So like first name, last name, jersey, all that stuff for their composite. But you don't want to have everyone to have an individual access code just because it might be harder for them to find their photos. So being able to do everything in a group gallery with one access code and still be able to sort and have your data, that was huge.
Awesome.
Well,
thank you guys. But yeah, you guys have so many resources at your disposal on the Photo Day team between Austin and I, the Bubble, Facebook. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any more questions. We'd love to connect and talk about your studio and how we can help. But thank you guys for joining today. I appreciate your time.
thank you. See ya.